Do you know how this affects your savings? Iran announces end of military operations against Israel, but warns Lebanon strikes could trigger escalation. Iran and Israel traded strikes on Sunday night for the first time since a ceasefire was agreed in April, threatening to torpedo an already fragile ceasefire. Here's everything we know so far. Financial analysts are closely watching how this develops and what it means for markets and everyday investors. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by CNBC Top News. For daily market and financial news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
This White House decision is affecting your daily life right now. Trump walks out of interview after being pressed on election fraud claims. President Trump walked out of an interview on Sunday's Meet the Press after being pressed on his repeated claims that the 2020 election and last week's California primaries were rigged. Let's break this down quickly. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are responding as the situation continues to develop in Washington. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by NPR Politics. Stay informed on what Washington is doing. Follow us for updates.
Congress just passed something, and most Americans do not know yet. Knicks' long-awaited NBA run electrifies NYC. With Trump set to attend key game, the Knicks' stunning winning streak has energized the city as the New York basketball team prepares for the third game of the finals series at its home arena. Here are the key details. This story is dominating political discussions across the country and drawing reactions from leaders in both parties. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by BBC US and Canada. More breaking political news every day. Subscribe now.
Here is what the political news actually means for your family. Trump abruptly ends NBC interview after clash over rigged election claim. During the interview, the president was repeatedly challenged on several points by the show's presenter Kristen Welker. This is why it matters. Political analysts say this development could have major consequences heading into the next election cycle. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by BBC US and Canada. For daily US political news, subscribe to Global News Digest.
The Federal Reserve just made a decision that affects your money. Trump says Netanyahu will have no choice but to accept a deal with Iran. U.S. President tells FT that he calls the shots after urging the Israeli leader not to retaliate against Tehran. Here's what's actually happening. This story is moving markets and has significant implications for the U.S. economy and consumer spending. Follow along as we cover the key details, the background, and what happens next. This story was reported by Financial Times. Stay on top of your money. Follow Global News Digest for daily finance updates.
Your retirement account could be impacted by this news. Hot Jobs report puts Fed cuts further out of reach as Chair Warsh faces policy tests. Another big jobs report in May has swept aside the possibility of interest rate cuts anytime soon. The key facts you need to know. Investors and traders on Wall Street are reacting quickly as this situation continues to unfold. This is a developing story, and we expect more information to emerge in the coming hours. This story was reported by CNBC Economy. Don't miss tomorrow's financial headlines. Subscribe now.
This NFL story broke minutes ago, and fans are going wild. NFL Injury Roundup. Latest on Patrick Mahomes, Micah Parsons, George Kittle and more. Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Micah Parsons, Malik Nabers and George Kittle are all at different stages of recovery as teams head into the NFL's summer break. Here's everything we know so far. Football fans across America are reacting strongly, and sports commentators are calling this one of the biggest stories of the season. Stay with us for the full story and more breaking news throughout the day. This story was reported by CBS Sports NFL. For daily NFL news and updates, subscribe to Global News Digest.
Is this the biggest football story of the entire season? Myles Garrett to Rams, A.J. Brown to Patriots. CBS Sports picks favorite NFL trades of 2026 offseason. Several stars have changed teams this offseason, and we're breaking them down here. Let's break this down quickly. NFL insiders say this development will have major implications for the rest of the season and possibly beyond. We will continue to monitor this story and bring you updates as they become available. This story was reported by CBS Sports NFL. Stay on top of the football season. Follow us for daily coverage.
Is this the best trade in NBA history? NBA Finals MVP rankings. Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson make it a two-man race. Meanwhile, if the Spurs stand a chance, they need Victor Wembanyama to play like an MVP again. Here are the key details. Players, coaches, and front offices across the league are watching this situation closely. This is one of the top stories we are watching closely today across the United States. This story was reported by CBS Sports NBA. More NBA stories every day. Subscribe so you don't miss a play.
The tech story everyone is searching for right now. Starmer tells Apple and Google to ban nude images on children's phones. Firms will be expected to activate built-in features to stop children accessing sexually explicit images. This is why it matters. Tech industry insiders say this development will reshape competition among the biggest players in Silicon Valley. Our team is tracking every development as this story continues to unfold in real time. This story was reported by BBC Technology. For daily tech and AI news, subscribe to Global News Digest.